Hey friends, my name is Courtney Diamond and I am here to talk to you all about all things singing after high school. So one path that you have if you want to continue singing after high school is to major in musical theater in college. Well, I actually started my freshman year of college as a musical theater major, so I thought it might be helpful for me to share my experience with you. Let's start with the audition. Now, I don't remember a whole lot about my musical theater program audition. I just remember very small things, but I'll do my best to walk you through what I had to do for my audition into university. I had to prepare just a few things for my audition. The first thing was a contemporary monologue. I chose Kelly Powell's Your Money's Worth, and the second thing was two contrasting musical theater songs. I'm pretty sure that I probably sang Wishing You Were Somehow Here Again from Phantom, number one, because I'm basic, and number two, because it was kind of a signature song of mine my senior year of high school. I loved it a lot. And then for the second one, I probably did something from Legally Blonde because, again, basic. You needed only prepare 16 bars of each, so it really wasn't too bad or too intense. I performed all of the above for the judges, and I say judges because I honestly cannot remember who the heck was in the room with me and who was judging me. So we're just gonna call them judges. I was kind of going through it mentally my entire freshman year, so I think I blocked a lot of these memories out, so bear with me. Anyway, then came the dance portion of the audition. Now, I knew that I was going to have to dance in this audition, but for some dumb reason, I didn't dress for it. One of the most vivid memories that I have looking back on my audition is that for some reason I wore the shortest skirt that I owned. It was actually a skirt, so it did have shorts under it, which makes it better, but I still don't know what possessed me to wear it. And it was salmon colored with little flowers all over it. I mean, it was cute, but it was definitely not ideal for a dance call or an audition. Literally, what was I thinking? But for the dance portion of the audition, the bigwig dance instructor, and by that I mean like the head of the dance department, I think, taught me a short combination, and it was really hard. It had a lot of like single and double pirouettes in it, and y'all, I cannot pirouette. I was terrified to do this dance audition because I was a very bad dancer back then, and I really haven't gotten any better, let's be honest. She taught it to me in like 5 minutes, and then I had just a little bit to work on it on my own, and then I had to perform it twice for them. It was a disaster, and I apologized, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm just not a dancer. And the dance teacher was like, that's okay, dear. You know what I did notice is that you nailed the up and down movement of the grapevine, and you danced very sharply to the beat. So I guess we know I can grapevine with the best of them. And I do. And that's it. I went home and waited for what felt like weeks, but I'm not really sure how long it was, before I received notice that I was accepted into the musical theater program at university. So let's talk about my experience in the program itself. Lucky for you, for this video specifically, I was actually able to track down my entire transcript so I can tell you exactly what classes I took while I was at university. The first class that I took was beginning ballet. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say about ballet class. This was one of my most stressful classes my entire first semester. And I know that sounds silly, but just listen. I had only 1 year of ballet experience, and that was my sophomore year of high school. So it had been quite a while since I'd taken a class, not to mention that when I did take the class, I learned that I was in fact a horrible dancer. So going into another ballet class was straight up not great for me. And it turns out that nothing had changed because I was terrible in college too. The thing that I remember stressing me out the most though was that dang pristine ballet bun that I had to wear to every single class every day. If you came with your hair not in a perfectly clean, crisp, beautiful ballet bun, you received a tardy, and you only got 3 tardies for the semester before you were kicked out of the class. So that was really stressful. And if you don't know, I am essentially useless when it comes to anything hair-wise, hence why my hair is always just fresh out of the shower natural on these videos. So I actually had to meet my dorm mate at my room every single day before class so that she could put my hair up for me, and then I ran to ballet class. Mortifying. This class did teach me some really good fundamentals of ballet, but I was so awkward and so bad that it was just not a good time. You also had to do a certain combination in front of the entire class and the teacher for the final, and it was mortifying. I did horribly. I passed because I remembered the combination, but Technique was a 0. The second class that I had to take my first semester was private voice lessons. I actually covered my experience in freshman voice lessons in another video, which I will go ahead and link in the description. But just so you're aware, I loved my private voice lessons at university, and I really felt that I was getting a lot better. It's probably the one class that I always looked forward to going to and tried my best not to miss. The third thing on my schedule was rehearsal and production. Now, this is not an actual class. I know that sounds silly, but it's just part of your credit, if that makes sense. Let me explain. It basically required me to participate in different shows that the theater put on in whatever way I could. So if I wasn't acting in a play that was going on, I had to attend, first of all, and also do tech crew or usher or clean the green room or something like that. And this didn't just apply to shows put on by the university with university students. It also applied to any touring shows that came through that used our facilities. One of the coolest things that I got to do was Martin Short came to town once and used our facilities for his show. And I was a big Martin Short fan. I was obsessed with the Santa Claus series with Tim Allen, and he was Jack Frost in the third one. So anyway, Martin Short came through and my job was to clean his green room / dressing room. So I actually got to go around and like pick up after him, which I know sounds like really weird, but it was super cool. Like, he had eaten dinner in there and he, like, his plate was sitting there and I was like, Martin Short, touch this food! Like, again, super weird, but I thought it was really cool. But I got credit for everything that I did towards rehearsal and production. So any show that I was in, did tech for, ushered for, cleaned the green room for, all credit. The fourth class that I took was Acting 1. This is sort of self-explanatory, but basically this was acting. We read a lot of plays, but the only one that I remember specifically is The Seagull by Chekhov. Had I been in a better mental space, I probably would have knocked this class out of the park and really gotten a lot out of it, but I wasn't. I was actually pretty depressed, and my teacher hated me, so I didn't get a lot out of this class. And the final class that I took my first semester was Stage Voice and Movement. This class was super interesting. It was very interpretive and obviously focused on how you move around the stage. I don't remember a whole lot from this class except that I thought that a lot of the techniques were super weird and I never really looked forward to going, but again, bad mental space. But there is one thing that I do remember. So one project or credit that we had to do for the class was the teacher told each of us individually in the class to secretly observe someone else. We like drew names out of a hat of people in the class. We had to secretly observe them for a week, and then at the end of the week we would all perform the impressions of each other using only body language. So you couldn't talk, you couldn't like use whatever phrase they said most often or whatever. You just had to use your body and show who you were being from the class. And then the class had to guess. It was super cool and I remember it vividly, and it just showed how much you can really express using just your body. For the second semester, I pretty much took general classes only, along with staying in my private lessons and then moving on to Acting 2. I had also accepted a role into the spring musical that the university was putting on, which that year was Into the Woods, and I spent most of my time at night at rehearsals, and we even rehearsed for like 8 hours on some Saturdays, so I was really busy my second semester. I played Rapunzel and I had a lot of fun in the show, but it wasn't enough to keep me there, and I ended up transferring to community college after my first year. I want to emphasize to you that I was not in the mental space that I needed to be to give this program my all. The program was great, the school was awesome, the classes were great. I just wasn't ready. And it's one of my greatest regrets because I really do think that had I been ready and in a better headspace, I probably could have done really freaking well there and gone pretty far. It just wasn't the right time for me, and I didn't have it in me to give it my best, and I really do regret it. I think that musical theater programs are an excellent option if you are passionate about performing and specifically about musicals. So I hope that sharing my experience with you allows you to be able to make that decision for yourself and see if that path might be right for you. I do offer vocal lessons, so if that's something that you are ready to hop into, go ahead and send a message to the email below and I will schedule a consultation with you. And please, if you love this video, please hit the like and subscribe button for me, and maybe the bell too if you're feeling crazy. And feel free to watch my other videos. I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.